Did I believe the legend of the old chapel? No, not really. It sounded like the type of bullshit folklore that you would often hear in isolated communities. However, when my boss Michelle told me we had been instructed to sell the old chapel by the family estate, a chill went up my spine. The old chapel was purchased by a local villager named Henry Curson a few years after Tobias Cruikshank's disappearance. Henry died shortly after acquiring the place, but the property was passed down through each generation of the Curson family right up until the present day, and now they wanted to be rid of it. We were in the depths of winter. It was a cold and misty morning. Michelle and I were slowly winding our way up the lonely potholed forest track that led towards the old chapel, excitedly speculating as to what the property would be like. Nobody outside the Curson family had stepped foot inside since it was acquired by them all those centuries ago. Michelle was an unusual lady. I found her eccentric, irritating, and slightly amusing all at the same time. She had the swagger and ego usually associated with a man, yet she was entirely feminine and charming at the same time. Something told me she would need to use all of her charm and manipulation to get this one in the bag. There was speculation that the old chapel would be coming to the market for years, and every agent in the county had been competing for a chance to sell it. 9 a.m. We arrived at a pair of rusty iron gates covered in dead ivy. There was no intercom system and we could see no vehicles parked outside. The place looked virtually abandoned, towering spruce and large trees framed the entrance like sinister guardians of whatever was inside. I got out of the car and pushed the gates open. They creaked loudly as if that was the first time they had been opened in decades. We rolled forward and pulled up near the front house. It was eerily quiet. A noise from the nearby bushes startled us both. It was just a deer. Something felt wrong. Where was Mr. Curson? Why was he not here to greet us all? The fog was getting thicker, and there was a piercing chill in the air that penetrated deep into the bones. The quietness was almost unnatural. No birds, no wind, no rustling in the trees. I rang the doorbell. Nothing. I rang it again and again. Maybe he wasn't here. Maybe Mr. Curson had forgotten the appointment. We turned around and walked back to the car, and as we did so, we heard the door open behind us. I turned around slowly, and in the thin black gap, we saw a narrow, pale face with the most lifeless and weary eyes I had ever seen, staring at us from the shadows. "Are you from Downey and Company?" he croaked in a strained and unpleasant tone. "Hello, Mr. Curson. My name is—" "You'd better come in," he interrupted before I had a chance to introduce myself.